All right, for today's video review, we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Studio Series 86 Core Class Steeljaw. Definitely a long time coming here, getting a new version of Steeljaw. It's been quite a while since we've had a new version of him. I think that the last one was maybe in like the Fall of Cybertron Generations line, which was that with a like crummy like automatic flip open one. And yeah, no, this is a pretty good little figure, all things considered. He definitely has some bits that I don't really like about him. The cassette mode is okay. I don't love that only one of these is painted in, and I really don't love that they're cheated to get like the little circles there on his shoulders in robot mode. I sort of wish that they just left that detail off if they couldn't actually get these circles there, but I kind of get it. And he is continuing the tradition of like doing a core class cassette bot and then just giving him some extra stuff to kind of fill out that price point, which I'm a little bit unconvinced actually gets up to the full like $10 to $12 that core class figures go for. But nonetheless, it is still nice to get a new version of Steeljaw. In terms of what he comes with, he obviously comes with himself here. He comes with this bit and these bits, which unfortunately are a bit of parts forming that are like needed to actually complete the robot mode that aren't integrated into the cassette mode at all, which is really kind of a bummer. I mean, like, I get it. Like, a lot of these guys had, their original iterations had like these extra weapons that you'd plug on, which makes it a lot more difficult to like actually get, these integrated into the cassette modes. But I was pretty bummed out when I saw that that was going to be the case. And then he also comes with this bit here, which is basically just like a, another version of this, but it is meant to house this big speaker weapon that he can have on the back of him, which is also compatible with Blaster. So, I can kind of live with this just because it has places it can peg onto Blaster. But, I don't really think I needed this stuff, but I guess it's cool that he comes with it regardless. In terms of comparisons in this mode, I mean, here he is with Kingdom Sideswipe for whatever that's worth, but just because it's my standard size comparison. For some other cassette bots, here he is with Eject and Rewind that both came with versions of the Kingdom/Legacy Blaster mold, and here he is with Siege Ravage, or I guess the Netflix Ravage, because, well, I mean, I guess it's more of an apt comparison in robot mode, but so two of them look like together. And then, of course, here the three of them are with Blaster, and you can, put him into Blaster's tape deck here. He's a little bit tight in there, but he can definitely get in there and then actually close up the door, which is cool to see. It's kind of a shame. I mean, I guess you could flip him around, so at least, the one painted cassette hole there is the one that's actually showing through Blaster's window. Still just a little bit more of a stretch to get him in there than you'd like it to be, but he does fit, and that looks good from the front there. And then, in terms of like this stuff, you could like take this and just store it on the back of Blaster and just kind of keep it out of the way. So like, oh, when he's carrying around Steeljaw, he also has to bring that bit around. And again, you could store this on the back there too. You could even, if you want, like, since these two bits kind of attach together like that, so they can attach on the back of Steeljaw, you could use this to like plug it onto the top of Blaster's handle to have him have like a extra speaker in the boombox mode, an extra speaker granted coming out of the handle, which looks a little stupid, but you could also like plug it into the bottom of his foot so it comes off like that, and that's kind of cool. It's nice that it has at least some integration. Whether or not that was actually intended, I don't actually know, but to get into transformation for this guy, obviously he's not too complex, being a little core class cassette bot here, but he's got a couple neat tricks. First thing you want to do is just take these bits, which are his head, and just fold them out to the side like this, which can be a little bit tricky because it's a pretty tight joint, but it's not too bad. And then fold these together to combine the two halves of the head, and then take this whole section, fold it up like that, and then we want to take the back legs here, and they will just fold down like that, and then take the front legs, fold them up, and then you can take his little guns here and just flip them around so they're facing forward. It's nice that they at least got those integrated into there. And there we have Steeljaw in his base robot mode. And then obviously if you want to complete the look, you basically just take this bit and peg it onto the back there. That gives him his little wings and his tail, and actually makes the body a little bit more proportional. And he looks really good in his robot mode. It is a shame that he has to do a little bit of parts forming to get the back section there. But honestly, like, even if you just had him like this, he doesn't look like terrible. It just looks a little weird that he doesn't have a tail and it's a little bit boxy here, but it's not the end of the world. But it's he definitely does look better with this bit attached. And then obviously, you can take this bit if you want as well and plug it on like that. So he's got like the speaker kind of coming out of the back, which is kind of a cool effect there. Obviously, this could not have reasonably transformed out of him, but it's a cool little attachment nonetheless. But yeah, in terms of articulation, the head, it can't really do anything. I mean, you could fold the whole head down a little bit, but it will kind of just like click into the mane. And then each of the legs here are on a swivel. And then you can take his little wings here, which just tab into the side here, and they can rotate up and down. The guns can rotate up and down. But again, you're not really getting him in any significant poses. You pretty much just want to have him like that and just leave it like that. But yeah, not too terrible. In terms of comparisons in this mode, he is again with Sideswipe, just so you can see how he scales with an average size deluxe there, obviously pretty tiny. Here he is again with Rewind and Eject there, just so you can see what the three of them look like together. Again, just need Ramhorn now, and then we'll have 4 of the the main little cassette bots for Blaster, but I think the 3 of them look good together. Here he is again with Siege Ravage, just so you can see. I do hope that they do some sort of form of like core version of Ravage, just because this one is a little bit blocky and misproportioned, and I think that Steeljaw just generally looks better. I don't think that this guy could really be a remold into Ravage. I don't think that would really work, just because so much of the portion of him is just like his main there, which isn't at all relevant for Ravage. But either way, that's what 2 of them look like together. Here he is with an average core class figure, just so you can see what I'm talking about in terms of like, even with this big accessory, don't think that really makes up the price there in terms of the amount of plastic used. Yeah, I'm not, it feels like there should sort of be like a smaller like price point that they could do these guys at that wouldn't be quite this ridiculous, but whatever. And here he is again with Blaster, just so you can see what the 2 of them look like together. And yeah, I feel like that looks pretty cool. And then you can also use this bit as a bit of an accessory for Blaster as well. Like you can take this bit off and you can actually, on the back here, it has this weird little cutout here, which actually can slot over Blaster's hand, so you can use it as like a boombox hand, which actually has like a blast effect port, and so do the little guns on the side of Steeljaw as well, which is pretty cool, honestly. And it's nice that you can do something with that other than just have it be an extra accessory that goes in a box somewhere. But yeah, all things considered, I like this figure. It irritates me. I think like this stuff is like, okay, I knew I wouldn't really care about this, but it's I knew that he had to come with some extra stuff, and I wish that he just cost less, but I get it. Really, the main thing that bums me out about him is just the fact that like this is a parts formed bit, but honestly, I just have it be like, oh, when he turns into a cassette, then we can just like store this on Blaster's back there and call it a day, and that's not too bad. It's not quite as bad as like with Soundwave, for example, where like Studio Series Rumble and Frenzy's guns really have nowhere to go on him, which is a bit annoying, but I can deal with it, especially because he does look so good in robot mode, even though he's got the bits of the cheating there, which bothers me. But it's a little core class figure, and it's nice to finally get a new updated version of Steeljaw, even if I do have my qualms with the figure. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to him. If you enjoy my videos, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I do reviews every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And without further ado, here we have Transformers Studio Series 86 Core Class Steeljaw.